Hello, this is Purge bringing you guys the much-awaited Storm Spirit replay commentary. Sorry it's been so long since Sorry I delayed this. This is like 2-3 weeks coming. It was pretty bad. I was honestly just scared to play the hero because the skill cap is so high. So I never... It's like whenever there's a new hero that comes out and I'm scared to play them and get good at them, I just don't play them for a really long time because it's so much easier just to random and I should have just done it. So today I played 3 games after playing 2 Shams of Earth Spirit the last couple days, and now I think I have the hero mostly figured out. By the way, one of the Shams I will upload later, probably tomorrow. I didn't want to upload the Sham before I did the gameplay commentary because I wouldn't explain anything, and you guys might have been confused about that. So I figured I'd get a game in, and then I would do the Sham later. So I've got a Sham from yesterday, I believe, or 2 days ago. I think it was the first Earth Spirit game that I had played. So basically my skills in this game are going to be better than the Sham that I upload later, but just be aware of that. Okay, anyways, Earth Spirit. He's overpowered. He's definitely the most overpowered of the 3 spirits. Definitely is stronger than Xin, the fire spirit. And it's because he has so much potential to be really strong. Now, before I confuse you guys with combos and how to play the hero, down below I'm going to link hopefully a GIF of all the combos or at least a lot of the combos that you can do when you play Earth Spirit. And keep in mind that I'm not even close to playing top tier Earth Spirit here. This is only like my 3rd game or something like that, so still getting used to a lot of things. But basically I was planning to play support this game. Earth Spirit can kind of lane all over the place. The only role he can't play is hard carry. So don't try to play him as a hard carry. It's not really going to work out in the late game. But the first 30 minutes it's going to be great. You can play him mid, you can play him off lane, and you can play him support. A lot of people theorize that he's going to be the most popular as a support hero. Excuse me, most powerful as a support hero. I'm not completely sure about that. I'm not completely sure what his major strengths are, necessarily. Basically, I just don't. I'm not so sure yet. I'm not good enough at the hero yet to really make that judgment. But basically, the hero can be played as support. He can be played as off lane. He can be played as mid. But I'm going to be playing him support this game. If you go mid, you're basically just doing the same thing that you can do at all levels, which is just get a lot of kills in combo. So, found a support hero, so just gonna punch him a bunch here for fun. And then it was time to run once he actually paid attention. He actually did end up getting ensnare level 1, so this is not bad for me. I could have gone for this haste rune, but I decided against it. I thought it was a lot safer just to run back up, and it's gonna be fine. So, it took some damage, quite a bit, but not that bad. So, let's talk about his skills. I was trying to block here for my mid hero, because my mid hero was really late, but his first skill, well, first of all, you have a remnant ability at all levels. This is similar to what the fire panda or the fire spirit can do. He can drop a remnant, basically, and it costs you no mana to do this. You can have up to 6, and you can see them recharging here. So when I actually use one, you'll see this little green rectangle getting in a little circular. Part of it will be dark, part will be light. It'll show you how often they're recharging. But basically, you can drop a stone totem on the ground. A stone remnant is what it's called. And no hero can touch or adjust your remnants at all. But it's important to use these and save them a little bit as you end up using them in team fights. But essentially, you combo them with your 3 skills to do cool things. And your ulti as well, of course. So basically, the entire hero's theme is based around the remnant thing. So it's a really cool design. Really, really cool design. Essentially, how this works is your first skill, you can punch things. Or people call it kicking, usually. They generally refer to you're kicking something. But you can kick a boulder, which makes it fly a very long duration, distance that is. It goes for 2,000, 2,000 distance, 800 if you kick a regular unit or hero, and it does damage. If you kick a boulder and the boulder flies through an enemy, it also silences them. So it does the damage no matter what, but the silence is only applied, and the range only goes really far if you kick a stone. So as this scales, it does more damage and reduces the cooldown. Your second skill is Rolling Boulder. This basically turns you into a big rolling ball, and then you end up rolling for 800 distance if you don't have a stone that you pass through while you're rolling, and 1,600 if you do pass through a stone while you're rolling. And if this connects with an enemy hero, you do 135 damage. I'm sorry, 90 damage for regular roll, 135 with the stone. But if you roll into a hero, it slows them for 2 seconds and it does damage. 80% slow, so very good. The cooldown scales massively as you get up to level 4. Your third skill is generally your most important for setting things up, but it's Geomagnetic Grip. You can use this to drop a boulder and then pull the boulder through a hero, and then that stuns them and does damage of 125. You can also pull allies and allied units using this skill. So if an ally is stunned, it's basically like a force staff that pulls them towards you. So it's really OP towards saving your allies. It's way OP for saving your allies. It's like way better than a force staff is, because it doesn't matter what orientation they're facing. So it's really, really good for that. I decided to get my Boulder smashed at level 1 here because I thought we might be able to silence the bounty hunter and get a kill on him, but this wasn't entirely realistic. But we should be able to catch him here. We do have a dust, by the way. So I decided to knock him backwards away from his tower. This may have been a mistake because it kind of forced us to run more into the jungle. But yeah, it's too bad. I actually would have done a lot more damage if I just would have gotten Geomagnetic Grip, because it actually does 125 damage. Sorry, I blocked that a little bit. But the Geomagnetic Grip does 125 damage at level 1, and the Boulder Smash does 100, so I would have done more damage with the Geomagnetic Grip. And you can land that very reliably, because you drop a stone, and then you pull the stone. So, plus, in case your allies ever get into trouble, you can just pull them with this. I mean, look at the range on this thing. I think it should scale. I think it's too OP. The amount of range that this can pull from is insane, but this hero will get nerfed before he makes it into Captain's Mode, promise, because I know pretty much every single pro player thinks this guy is overpowered. So this will get nerfed. So, yeah, I think I explained those 3 skills, and the ulti is the only one that's a bit hard to understand. You'll see all these skills as I play the game, by the way, so luckily I'm just playing support here, so you don't have to focus on too much else. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the creep wave here, but when you cast this, it's a small radius around yourself, like 300, which is about here, something like this. And it does a damage over time ability for 6 seconds. So think of it that way. When you cast it, the heroes around you in the short vicinity take a 30 DPS, or sorry, a 50 damage per second duration nuke for 6 seconds. It doesn't slow, it doesn't do anything else. 1 second. If an enemy hero is affected by silence or slows as a result of rolling Boulder, all Magnetize heroes share the effects. Oh, I forgot about that. That's really cool. I always forget about that. I completely forgot about that. So basically what that means is that if I magnetize multiple heroes and then I silence any of those heroes with the Boulder Smash, or if I slow any of those heroes with the Rolling Boulder, then every single one of them is affected. So that's hugely strong. I didn't realize that when I played this game, but as I play the hero more in the future, I'm sure I'll think about taking advantage of that. So basically, if you can... I mean, this silences Imba, by the way. I don't know if I explained it, but 5-second duration. At level 1, you can silence somebody. It's most times very difficult to nail somebody with the boulder, and you'll see me miss it a couple times this game. But it's pretty difficult sometimes to land the boulder on people, so it's not always easy. But if there's multiple heroes, it's probably not that bad. We actually had Aosin dying over here. I could have pulled him actually, which would have been the smarter thing to do. But there's the hit. So I just silenced him for 5 seconds, and then I pulled a boulder there to stun the Night Stalker. So to start that off, I dropped a boulder, and then I meleeed it with the Boulder Smash, or kicked it, and then I dropped another boulder to pull so that I could stun. So I did like 125 or 225 damage, which is okay, but more importantly, I just wanted to make sure they didn't nuke him down, was what I was trying to accomplish. And now my boulders are recharging, so I'm just going to consider going on him. I ended up using the boulder and did the combo on Night Stalker. Unfortunately, we don't really have enough damage to kill him, so it's not going to work out. But I used all 3 skills there that time. So as you may have seen there, I did one of the most basic combos by far. Super, super basic combo. I needed to stun these guys because I was scared I was going to die. But the basic combo is you drop a rock on the opposite side of their hero to you, and then you pull the rock to you. And what that does is it stuns them, and then you immediately rolling boulder, and while the rock passes through them, you'll roll into that boulder, so you'll go extra far, and you'll nail them for the full damage of 135 and slow by 80% for 2 seconds. So that's the easiest combo in the whole game right there. Easiest combo. To make that a little bit harder, after you roll into them, you're going to be on the opposite side, and you can punch or kick them basically back into your team. So you'll see me do that later this game. That combo. But that's the basic combo. You drop a rock on their side, you pull it through to stun them, you roll into them, and then you punch them or kick them back. Sometimes it's better to pull the rock through you and then kick a rock into them to silence them and then roll into them. And that's useful against a lot of heroes like Queen of Pain or Puck. So heroes that have escapes. So the average hero is not going to be able to avoid the rolling boulder, but if they have a blink or something like that, or a rage, for example, on Lifestealer, then they have a way to disjoint the whole combo. So heroes like that, sometimes you have to change up the combo, and then the combo becomes a lot harder. It is honestly quite a bit difficult to be able to do combos other than the basic one. The basic combo is not hard. Any player can learn that, but the more advanced ones take a little bit of practice. So as you play more and more games of Earth Spirit, you'll get better at doing all these combos. But again, I'll try to link a GIF. I found a GIF a couple weeks ago when Earth Spirit came out about how to do a wide variety of combos, and I thought it was really cool. So I'll try to find it later while I'm uploading this video, and if I can't find it, I won't put it in the drop-down box below, but I'm going to try really hard to find it, I promise. So unfortunately, finding a Imager link from like 3 weeks ago is going to be difficult for me. So Alright, I've got 6 stones now. I've got my full combo potential. I don't really need to necessarily be anywhere. Very likely I can actually roam, because you do have so much utility. You have a stun, you have a slow, and you also have a 5-second silence. And altogether, this does okay damage. It's 135, 235, was that 350 about? A little bit, 360 magic damage I have between the 3 skills, which is pretty solid. So, and that's using 1 rock. I can use 1 rock to pull, and then fall through, and then I can punch a hero or kick a hero, and then I do the 100 damage as well. So right now I'm just grabbing EXP because there's nobody on the mid lane. The hero does really need to get to level 6, and preferably somewhere around 11. You become definitely strongest when you're about 11. I made a mistake there, not rolling the ball a bit earlier. He actually juked to the right, so that was lucky for him, more or less. But I did that a little slow. I should have started rolling as soon as I did the boulder. I hesitated a little bit. And also, I don't know why my boulder... Oh, I think it's because I waited too long. So what I did is I waited so long for the boulder that it actually ended up behind me when I rolled, so my boulder didn't fly faster. So if I would have done that combo a little faster, there's an okay chance that we would have killed him. So a little bit of sloppiness in my play there ends up losing us a kill. So you really got to refine this this hero. You have to play him a lot to get good at him. It really does make a big difference. So I think grabbing an early wand is pretty okay. I'm not completely definite on his early item builds, so I might be a little bit misinforming about what I think is right here, but early wand is pretty typical. A bottle is really nice as well if you can get it, because it allows you to just continuously roam around and try to get kills, but it's not always going to work out. And I only played about 2 real games of this hero. This would be the 2nd game, other than a bunch of like shams. But I believe that some of the top tier Earth Spirits will be maxing Geomagnetic Grip first. And that's for reasons that you may have seen for the Bounty Hunter gank that I just did. He basically avoided the stun. Or well, he got hit by the stun, but the ball rolling through was ended up being a little bit delayed, and I was unable to get the kill on him there. Oh, that's cool. I forced a TP here. Feel smart. But basically, if you increase the stun duration, it increases the likelihood that you'll be able to set up your following combos. So it's actually pretty good to level it up. I don't really want to, but I think it's kind of needed to do. Like, you kind of need to do it. And since they're diving here, I decided that I would have to TP. See if I can get a combo off. Again, I did the ball roll slow, so I ended up missing the combo. If I would have landed that, I don't know what hero the Luna is. She's actually level 8, so if I would have landed that, there's an okay chance that I would have died. But my goal was to try to knock her back into the tower, and I messed it up, because again, I hesitated. I should just drop the rock and then started rolling immediately. And then I would have caught the rock, and I would have rolled through and hit her, and then I could have kicked her back into tower range, and she would have probably had to eclipse, and it might have killed a bunch of heroes. So it's probably okay that I missed that, honestly, in the course of the game. So yeah, oftentimes you do want to level up the Geomagnetic Grip. It does limit your damage a bit, but it gives you a better chance of utility, which is usually a bit more important. So, chasing after this hero a bit, we're thinking about going in. Oops, I dropped my rock a bit weird there. I actually missed the second one as well, so that was pretty sloppy. But I wasn't quite sure which way he was going to be running in there. And this looks really bad for us. Tried to silence them to at least help out a bit. So yeah, I missed a lot of skills there. That was pretty rough. You'll see me get better at the hero as I play this game, though. Again, this was like only I played one game where it was a mega stomp that we got stomped, and then the other game I played one where I played mostly bad, and this game I started to get the hang of things. I tried to pull the creep wave past in this point, which is why I ended up doing the stun through. Because I wanted the creep wave to come back, because there was a chance we could save our tower then. But unfortunately, it didn't really look like it was going to happen, so I just kicked a creep for some CS, and now I'm just going to go back to heal, because Windrunner can grab the CS and the EXP right now, and I might as well go grab health and mana. So if you're playing support Earth Spirit, I think, I don't necessarily recommend playing him as a 5, but you kind of can, honestly. You don't need that much items to be useful. Like, if you grab an Arcane Boots and a wand, you're pretty set. And I really think Arcane Boots is the right way to go on this hero, because largely you're a caster. You shouldn't have treads to attack faster. You don't really need phase to get around, because you already have the boulder. Really, you just need mana to be able to get around faster. So one little thing about the boulder roll, this isn't something I ended up doing this game, but after watching some higher level Earth Spirits, it's actually really good to drop the rock. You can actually drop the rock after you cast the roll. So you can cast the roll and then drop the rock. So you can actually, I think you can cast most of your skills while you're actually rolling. It's not like a stun, for example. I thought he was just going to keep running, and then he didn't, so I messed that up. Like, I wasted a lot of rocks there, but luckily I had a big pool, so I was able to eventually get it. I was kind of hoping to catch him, but I was not able to. And now there's not really any point in me staying around here. I did have sentries, but I wasn't really... I was thinking about placing them like right when Bounty came out of Invis, so that was too bad. But I've got a 2-second stun now. I should have just dropped a rock and stunned the Luna rather than trying to go for the Boulder smash first. The reason I tried to silence him because I didn't want him to eclipse, but it's way too greedy to expect he's going to run into a straight line. It's honestly pretty difficult to drop the Boulder, and it's pretty easy for them also to anticipate which way it's going to fly. So you should always just use the setup stun reliably just to make sure that things work out, because if that was like a slightly less advantageous spot for us, he could have gotten his eclipse off and we would have only had like 2 or 3 heroes there, and then we could have really lost that fight badly. So it ended up working out okay, but I had to waste a lot of rocks to do it, and I'm still not recharged fully from it, and that's really important to notice, is that if you do waste a lot of rocks, it's going to put you behind at later points in the game. You do have to plan ahead and be a little conservative with how many boulders you use, or how many rocks you use. So, oh yeah, before I get Skype messaged, let's go Do Not Disturb. I don't know, I think about these things sometimes when I'm recording a game, but I do. So I'm about to hit 6. I just want to sap EXP as long as possible. The Bounty Hunter just respawned, so I dropped on the Sentry now because I didn't want to put it down earlier. And again, if I get gold, I'm going to pick up Arcane Boots. Game's pretty even right now, though. So yeah, if you do want to do the rolling boulder, you want to roll the boulder for a bit, and then you want to later drop the stun. This also increases the distance that you get. I believe, I'm not entirely sure about this, but I believe you can get about, I don't know, 600 distance or 800 distance maybe out of the rolling boulder before you have to press another boulder down. And once you put that down, then you might be able to get an extra 1600. So really you can go more like 2k range rather than a total of 16. I haven't completely tested that out, but watching a couple replays and streams and stuff, it seems like that's the case. So be a bit aware of that. I also, by the way, I'm playing super far back right now is because we don't have very good wards, so I didn't really know if Bounty Hunter was in between the tier 2 and tier 1, and since I'm tracked, I really didn't want to get caught. But with Bounty showing bot, I knew that I was going to be safe and I can go back to defending the tier 1. So it's important to think about that. If you're against a Night Stalker and it's nighttime and they have a Bounty Hunter, there's no way I'm surviving if they dive me under my tower. So even hiding in the trees over here would have resulted in me dying. You have to be very aware of that stuff. It didn't end up being a problem here, but it might have been. So anyways, now that I have my ulti, I basically want to wait to use this until... Oh yeah, I don't think I finished explaining how the ulti works, but its interaction with the stone remnants at least. I explained that if you cast it, it does a damage over time skill to your opponents, and they share all the disables that the boulders, well, the boulder smash provide. Does it do the Geomagnetic Grip? That would be OP, I think. Yeah, it does not. That would be way too good, because you could stun everybody on the enemy team or something like that. That would be too strong. But basically, if you magnetize, and then those magnetized enemies walk close to a stone remnant, the stone remnant does a big AoE that applies or reapplies the magnetize to every hero and creep in the AoE. Unfortunately for us, we didn't realize we were getting ganked here. I'm going to be able to wand. I put my ulti down, and I did it right there, basically.
It was not luck, but skill.
Wow, he lived with 10 HP. I thought he barely survived. That was really close. So basically, when you use it, you're generally only going to catch 1 or 2 heroes, but to apply it to everybody, you just have to put a rock that's close to the magnetized units, but also within the AoE of all the other teammates. So basically, I just wanted to drop it on everybody. The problem is that in a very short period of time like that, where my HP is very low, I can't really let it tick for like 5 seconds before re-applying it. I basically had to ult and drop it immediately and try to hope that would kill them. Unfortunately for me, it did not. So I basically only did a 300 damage nuke to 4 heroes, which is still good, but reapplying it multiple times during the course of a team fight is really good. And by that I mean it takes 6 seconds to refresh or to time out. So I usually want to wait a couple seconds, drop a rock, wait a couple seconds, drop another rock, and then it keeps reapplying as the team fight continues. That's really how you get the most value out of your skill, or out of your ulti at least. The ulti is really strong, I promise. Very good in team fights if you can stay alive. So now I'm just going to sit in a position where I can cover my allies if needed. I got 8 seconds till my ulti. Right there, I just wanted to catch everybody with the stun if possible. And we ended up killing 2 heroes before we ended up getting caught, so that was really good for us. Found a random bounty hunter, that was pretty cool. Didn't really know where he was standing. So I just tried to catch him, didn't get him. That's okay though. I probably should have punched Steven away right here when he got stunned by the arrow, because then he would have been outside the tower range, but he's gonna end up surviving. So it was okay. And now, because we won a team fight, I actually have enough money for arcane boosts, so this is a really good start, finally. It was looking pretty rough for a bit there, but picking up the arcanes really does help a lot. And now I'm also going to start maxing out the Boulder Smash. I think 2 seconds is pretty good for Geomagnetic Grip. I dare say, as a support hero, maxing this first is going to limit your damage a bit too much. So you should probably get 2, maybe 3 levels. I can see the merit in getting the extra stun duration, because stun duration is great and all, but you don't get any damage out of this at all, and that really does hurt, honestly. So also, you also don't get cooldown reduction or anything, so maxing out Boulder Smash is actually pretty darn good, because you can get it down to a 10-second cooldown, which means 10 seconds down, 5 seconds up on silence, which basically means 5 seconds silence up, 5 seconds silence down. So hypothetically, you can silence a lot during a team fight. So I think it's probably greedy to get 4 points in this early, but at least 2 or 3. Probably 3 is safe. And going safe is oftentimes a lot more important. Since there's a whole creep wave here, I thought I would go down here because I wanted to get more EXP. I maybe could have TP'd to the mid lane, but I didn't really see before. All I saw was those beautiful creeps in EXP. Just keeping an eye on the fight in case something starts to see if I really need to be there or not. It's usually what I do when I look at other lanes like this, and since Shadow Fiend has now shown up, I decided that it was important for me to let him get the last hits, right? Nope. Well, I got 2 there that I don't think he was going to get, but on the bright side anyways, I've got Arcane Boots now, I've got full stones, and I've actually got 3 levels of Boulder Smash, which is pretty good. Normally, the other items that you go after this, Arcane and Wand, is pretty much core with TP Scrolls. You'll generally be buying some wards if you're playing support, but preferably there's a more hard support, like a Rubik, for example. So usually I'll grab either an Urn at this point, or I'll grab a mech. And utility items are honestly very good on this here, because you have a lot of mana to use. And you might as well get some more team fight out of your hero, basically, because you're largely like a ganking team fight hero that just ends up being really strong in a lot of ways. But mech is good, and I'm going to just punch this guy back here. Stun duration is really helpful. I'm going to drop the ulti on him as well, do some good damage, and then I refreshed it. It's going to catch 2 heroes now. I don't know if he's going to die from that, though, is any problem. I don't know what happened to the Naga. I guess she did not end up dying. I think when I dropped the second rock, it just resupplied or recasted on the Night Stalker, not on everybody else. So, it's a pretty crappy fight for us there. I think I was a little too aggressive going in. Again, the ulti that I used, the ulti is really strong, but you have to get a lot out of it. You really do. Like, you have to survive for a long time, basically, to end up surviving. So, anyways, Urn is good. Mech is good, but Windrunner said she wanted to build mech, and our Shadow Fiend built an Urn because DK felt like screwing around. So this is basically, I said, alright, I'm getting a Force Staff. And Force Staff is the third of the other items that are very good and very useful to grab. So Force Staff it is what I'm aiming for. It takes a while to finish the Force Staff, but once you get it, it's really good. So things I could have done differently in the fight mid. I stunned the Naga, I went in, I punched her back to the tower. It probably would have been a lot safer if I just stunned her and maybe hit her with the Silence Boulder and then rolled into her. And to do that, it's a bit different, but basically, it's actually pretty tough to pull a stone in and then kick it right back without it going some weird direction. Because usually when you pull, you don't stop right in your place. So it doesn't like line things up perfectly. Usually you pull something and you run a little bit. And then when the boulder comes back, the orientation's a bit weird. So I might have to go into a practice lobby or just play the hero more. Because that's probably the best combo, honestly, is if you pull a boulder in, you immediately kick it right back out and silence them, and then you roll into them. Because silence, again, 5 seconds is huge. So that is probably the best way to do the combo, but I haven't learned how to do that yet, or at least I haven't practiced it. So again, there's so much thought that can go in with your play with this hero that he really does have a huge skill cap, and that's pretty easy to see just by reading his abilities and seeing him played once or twice. So got a Staff of Wizardry picked up since we were able to take a Roshan, which is really convenient for us, and now we can move into maybe ganking or pushing. Again, I'm kind of looking for opportunities to initiate, and I'm going to go for this one here. I'm going to punch him back into our team, and this is the basic combo that you're going to want to do in most cases, is that you should be able to initiate and swap people out. And though I did lose a lot of HP for that, I lost no mana because we have Arcane Boots, and I was able to burn the Naga ulti. She kind of panicked. I don't necessarily think she should have used that, but there's a good chance she would have died otherwise. So I'm just kind of looking for an opportunity right here. If I see something that I should go in on, then I'm going to do it. I could have maybe jumped in there.
Radiant's middle tower is
Fortunately for
under
me, I got
attack.
arrowed, but we do have an Abaddon, so this ends up being okay. Just gonna throw a silence through to try to shut some people down. I ended up silencing Night Stalker there, which is good. They did use their
Radiant's
pot of
middle
multi,
tower has
so now we just have
fallen.
to be careful about that. And now I'm gonna be looking to counter initiate when they group up, and here it goes. Unfortunately, I got hit on this bounty hunter over here. More importantly, I wanted to use my ulti in the big team fight because I felt like a big fight was happening, but then it just, I don't know. I like if the rolling boulder hits any hero, by the way, he stops. This is the way to counter him essentially. If he's escaping, at least you just get in the way of his boulder when it's about to roll and he gets stopped. It's kind of like Slark basically. Like for Slark to leap, there has to not be a hero in the way if he wants to escape with it. So
Dire's bottom tower is under
unfortunately for
attack.
me, I hit the bounty hunter. We killed the bounty hunter, and the fight could have gone a bit better, but it still worked out pretty well. Just trying to get some CS here. Really sucks when Night Stalker uses his ulti now because you like can't see anything. I really noticed it a lot this game. I was like, why do I feel like I'm not safe constantly in this game? It's just because we didn't have very much map vision. So, yep, I'm still going to max out the Geomagnetic Grip, though, before grabbing any extra levels in Rolling Boulder. All that scales for this is the cooldown, so it's not really that worth maxing this out early unless you really want to just be crazy and roll across the map really fast, in which case you can do that just fine. Have fun with it. But I've got my Force Staff finished, so now my combo is going to change very slightly. I can basically act as a swapper. If you remember the combo that I did on the Naga Siren earlier, I can now change this up. See, like right there, for example, I got a huge boulder roll because I rolled for 800, and then I dropped the rock, and then I went 1,600. So I went really, really far that time. So if you drop the boulder a bit out, it works a bit better. And again, you don't have to drop the rock before you start rolling. Start rolling, then drop the boulder. It'll save you a small fraction of time, which might be enough to get a kill. I didn't do a very good job of doing that this game, but you should keep that in mind when you're playing that, or when you're playing it at least. Your ult scales pretty well. It goes up by 50% for 75 damage a second. So that means it does 450 in an AoE. Again, as I apply that, you only hit the people in a small AoE around me, so you'll see me do it a couple times this game where I start ulting and then I put a bunch of rocks down. I think I did that more the game before this one than this one, but you basically have to drop a rock immediately after ulting if you want to get the big AoE out, because I think the AoE, yeah, the rock explosion radius is 600. So you only catch somebody in 300 here. Can I see? Oh, cool, I can't see tooltips. There's a bug right now going on, but it's only 300 to magnetize originally, but if you drop a rock, it's 600, which is double the size. So double the size of this, you're going to catch a lot more heroes. And that's wherever I place the rock, and I can place the rock anywhere in this giant AoE. So basically, you can guarantee that you magnetize their whole team, or at least if their team's vaguely grouped up, they're going to get magnetized, which is important. It's a bunch of damage. So it also puts them in a lot of panic
Dire's
mode,
top
and
tower
also,
is
very
under
importantly, it stops bottling through damage and things like that. Damage over times really do add up to a lot. You can't earn through it, things like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on the map right now. I thought there was going to be a gank onto the Rubik here on the bot lane, so I was just sitting behind him in case that happened because I have a dust. And now there's some action top, which we have to go defend. Or at least could defend. And now looks like a real team fight, so I'm going to TP. To magnetize on 2 heroes. I wanted to do more there, but I ended up getting slept, so it was a pretty nice sleep actually from them. Luckily for me, I actually ate the arrow.
With honor.
Radiant's bottom tower
I was really
is
worried
under
about the bounty
attack.
hunter right now because I didn't know where the bounty was, so dropped the sentry. And now with a little bit of healing, I'm gonna be okay, pretty sure. If I went okay, I think I did it mostly alright. There was the Black King bar on the Luna, so there wasn't a whole lot I could do to her because none of my abilities go through Magic Immunity. I maybe could have kicked a Boulder through for silence, but I didn't do that, so I'm a little unsure if I think I did it okay. It was alright.
Radiant's top tower has
One of the
fallen.
things that I feel like I should start doing is placing boulders for escape. So at least when you're playing support, there's a good chance that you might just die, for example,
Radiant's top
before
tower
you're
is
able to
under
wait
attack.
5 seconds and drop another boulder. Sometimes I feel like maybe I should drop boulders really far away so that if they try to escape, they'll run into them as they're running away, and they'll continue to take refresh the magnetize at least. But I haven't really quite planned ahead on that yet, just yet. Got a nice disable here. Also going to kick Night Stalker way into our team so that he can't just run away. So there's the combo. I'm just looking for some follow-up here. This felt like a moment that we were going to fight. And really I just kind of died. I thought we were going to fight there. It felt like a fight, but everybody was really low and they didn't want to apparently. But I ultied and I dropped the rocks down to apply. I dropped 2 down and they basically, the second one was not needed. The first one started the cooldown on everybody. And the second one I was hoping to get it far enough back. But the AoE is pretty big actually. I think the activation AoE is not 600, I think it's 300. So that means if somebody with magnetize walks into a rock within 300 range, they'll magnetize that and it'll do the AoE. So I have to put it like really far behind them if I want them to accidentally walk into the rock, and that doesn't really happen very often. So I'm sure I could have done something better there during that fight, but I'm still pretty new at this hero and it's hard to tell. Again, I know I'm not very good at this hero, but he really does take a lot of practice to get good at. So I'm sure I'll play him more, honestly. I enjoy playing him, it's fun. And you can play him in so many different roles. He's definitely overpowered right now, so might as well enjoy it while you can. So I decided to buy a Ghost Scepter at this point because they actually have a lot of heroes that can kind of just right-click me down. Most importantly, Night Stalker is scary, and Luna as well. If she's not ulting, then a Ghost Scepter is okay. The other thing that's really annoying is the Ensnare on Naga's Net. So Naga's Net is actually stoppable. It's a physical ability, and that means that it is... Whether or not it works is covered by whether or not you are... whether or not you're ghost or ethereal or not. So if you ever want to stop the Naga net, you just need to get a Ghost Scepter. I think it was maybe a bit of a mistake to use the rock there to do damage to creeps. At this point I realized I only had 3 rocks, and again, you kind of want 6 if possible for team fights. Typical team fight, you shouldn't be using more than 3 or 4, but it might have been a waste. I don't know. I'm not sure. By the time I get to a fight, it'll be okay. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Ghost Scepter. It stops the Ensnare. So if you ever want to stop Ensnare, or if that's becoming a huge problem, just get a Ghost Scepter, and then you can use it after or before it lands on you. It just won't affect you. So Magic Immunity doesn't stop Ensnare. Ghost Scepter does. Now I completely forget about this when I get ensnared later, but the counter's there. And I was thinking about it, I just forgot about it during the action. So anyways, I'm pretty much set on items. I don't need a whole lot more than these. I haven't really had to use Geomagnetic Grip to save my allies. That's going to be fine. I think I should prioritize looking for a big silence more than anything else right now. But we are pretty much ready to push. I don't know if we have an Aegis or not, but we have a Abaddon that has a lot of farm. So if you guys are curious about some numbers here. We're pretty far ahead in terms of kill deaths assist. Shadow Fiend and the Abaddon carry are doing really well. And our net worth is like way ahead of what the Luna has. So we can look at some items as well if you guys are a bit curious about what's quite going on this game. And I'll just close this when the fight's about to start. So Abaddon has Armlet, Vlad's Drum, Basher. Shadow Fiend has Maskamana's BKB. Pretty much. Their carry has a BKB. Oops, we're initiating. Wow, that was really close. That was really close. I didn't even see that arrow coming through when I played that live. But basically I said, alright, there's a hero. I'm going to be able to combo him. I pulled the stun. I rolled into him for the slow. And I punched him into our team. And since he's stunned for 2.5 seconds, we punched him into a sentry. And then he just dies. And right after I punched him, I force staffed myself. If I hadn't force staffed myself, I would have gotten arrowed. And we would have completely traded. And that would have been way different. I was a little worried about my position there, so I decided to force staff myself. But that's going to result in our Shadow Fiend just completely dying, so... I maybe should have saved my force staff there, I'm not completely sure. I ended up magnetizing on him, but it didn't end up... I killed him so fast that I wasn't able to do any AoE. Still worked out okay, though. I tried to pull a rock there, but accidentally pulled the Abaddon instead, or Abaddon.
Radiant structures are fortified.
There you go. If you can force staff your allies if they're about to die as well, that's always good. Stunned him for a bit.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Fortunately for me, I missed. If you miss, you fly really far, by the way, in case you guys didn't notice.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This would have been a really good time to go Scepter. Didn't do it.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
So I still ended up surviving, but if I just simply would have avoided, it would have been so much better. I would have started walking immediately, or I'm sorry, if I would have used Ghost Scepter, I would have started walking immediately. He maybe could have countered this with the Void, but it worked out okay. So at this point, we have Arax. We have a huge gold advantage, and I'm just going to go for more utility items. And the utility item that I felt like buying was a Heaven's Halberd. This does two things. Number one, it makes me tankier by a lot. It gives me better right click. I get, I think, 45 damage from a Heaven's Halberd as a strength hero, so that's pretty good. It gives me 20 strength, which is 380 HP. That's a huge increase. And if I get the evasion as well, it stops a lot of their main counters, which is just right click. They do have a lot of magic nuke, but if I just get some evasion, it really will make a lot of difference in the team fights. So we don't have to worry that much about stun this game as well, just because we have an Abaddon, because he can just shield us if we're about to get stunned or if we do get stunned, so it's pretty okay. I kind of wanted to TP here, but I was unable. I could have been rolling to catch up, but my what are they called? My remnants were really low. I only had 3 right here, and I didn't want to start rolling across the map and use them that way. So otherwise, I would have used them. Or I would have been rolling to get there faster. I guess I could just roll normally, but the distance is not that far, so I guess I should have been using that. It's only 50 mana. I have plenty of mana. So yeah, again, basic priorities, magnetize. I can swap a hero out, essentially.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
It's a good goal to go for. Luckily for us, we're able to finish the barracks. And we might be able to push this into other areas as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So right now I just want to sit behind my allies or maybe look for an opportunity, and there we got one. He's able to punch the bounty hunter. Cover my allies a bit as well. Do a range silence. And now we're just going to take the Rex, which I think is going to be doable here. I don't know if we actually had detection or not. I don't think we did.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
I was a little worried about the Shadow Fiend dying there. Got a silence on too. We couldn't actually see him, by the way. I just ended up doing the right angle. There's like so much skill shot you can do with this guy, it's crazy. But I just saw a rock laying there and I was like, I'll use that rock. Because if you don't use the rock, then it's a bit of a waste, you know? So I ended up saving a rock by doing that. Nailed him for some good damage and slow. And at that point it was a kill, so... Yeah, this is pretty much the basics of the hero. I think this is a pretty good introductory game towards the hero. I'll probably upload another one later where I actually play mid. Now that I feel a lot more confident on playing the hero, playing in mid is definitely something that's possible, because you shouldn't really play mid unless you're really familiar with the combos, because if you're not familiar with the combos, you're going to miss your kill potential. But the main thing that you should do if you're playing mid lane is just go for the stun, knock back into the tower thing. It's by far the easiest to do. I have no clue where the enemy heroes are. And we're going to end up winning, so... That's a support. Earth Spirit, I really didn't have to use my hero to abuse the pullback on allies this game, but I mostly just set up combos and team fought, which is usually what I like doing with heroes anyways, and especially in Dota, I really like playing just team fight heroes, and I played largely okay. So, yeah, that's Earth Spirit. I hope you guys understand the basics. Again, I'm going to try to find the GIF and link it down below. I'll try to find anything. I know there was one that showed some combos, but it's no different than what I explained or talked here. It's a lot easier if you explain with words exactly what the combo is, but I'll try to find it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry for the delay in the video, and I think that's about it. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.